Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is that time of the week again where we count down the 10 hottest cards of the week. I'm happy to say that there's only one reserve list card on the list today. We have 9 non-reserve list cards to talk about. A lot of slivers. Slivers are hot right now. As a matter of fact, if all the slivers in our top 10 were in play for us, all our slivers would have lifelink and flying, and whenever a sliver dealt combat damage to a player, its controller would put a 1/1 colorless sliver in play and draw a card. There's other things happening on here too, beyond slivers, a lot to talk about. Quickly before we get into it though, just a fast reminder, if you go to flipsidegaming.com, you can use that Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order an assortment of Strixhaven products on the website. They also have the new Challenger decks there too, and a whole lot of other things. Remember, if your order is over $100 or it consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Additionally, whenever you use the promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated, so thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Illumination of $6.26 to $6.59. This is a 1,874% increase. Before we talk about this card in particular, just a quick reminder how we compile our top 10 every week. We look at 2 major pieces of criteria. The first is the percentage increase in value of a card, and the second is a true increase in sales. So why is this card going up so much this week? Well, it does see a little commander play. These color pie bending cards can be very useful in the format, of course. But what drove this very aggressive price increase was the fact that this was mentioned in a recent Tolarian Community College video. Now, this is not on the reserve list, of course, but considering how far it does bend the color pie, most would speculate that Wizards will not be looking to reprint this anytime soon. Number 9 is Hex Drinker. It goes up 810 to 1618 for a 100% increase. This has been seeing more modern and legacy play on MTGO ever since the last banned and restricted list update in February. In Modern, this is starting to show up in Jund Death Shadow builds, and in Legacy, many times you'll find this in Naya Reliquary or Temur Delver. Some players are starting to think about the future when Magic Fests do finally commence, whenever that will be, and you do have that group of players looking to put together some of these decks already. Number 8 is our first sliver of the day. It is Siphon Sliver, up $8.52 to $17. That is also a 100% increase. Slivers are really hot right now, like I said during the opening of the video. First, Keldheim brought us some support for slivers in the form of shapeshifters with Changeling. Now Time Spiral Remastered has reprinted some key slivers like Sliver Legion. Sliver commander decks are always going to have a following. This is good in those decks, and this is yet to be reprinted. Number 7 is the only card that carried over from last week's top 10. This is Limited Resources, going up 1106 to 1769. That is a 167% increase. This card is banned in Commander, so this price increase looks like it's being driven by collectors more than anything. Good chance that this was a targeted buyout. Much like Illumination, this is not on the reserve list, but I can't imagine it's very high on WotC's reprint priority list either. Number 6 is Galerider Sliver. This goes up $12.45 to $21.76. That's a 134% increase. Everything I said about Siphon Sliver applies here. Additionally, this appears in Modern and Legacy Sliver decks too, though. Number 5 is our only reserve list card of the day. It is Herald of Sarah, going up $13.83 to $26.74. That is a 107% increase. This can see a tad bit of commander play since it is a very open format, but this does appear to be a reserve list buyout. Number 4 is Wheel of Sun and Moon. This goes up $16.75 to $33.50 for a 100% increase. And if you watch the regular episodes of the Market Watch on the weekends, you know you got to keep an eye on these Shadowmoor rares. Cards from this time period were not cracked quite as much because there was a recession in the game, so sometimes these rares, especially if they've never been reprinted, they tend to get a little spiky when people pay attention to them. So why are people paying attention to this card? Well, it is another card getting more modern play ever since that update to the banned and restricted list. You can find this in Heliod Company, which is looking like one of the top decks in that new meta. Number 3 is another sliver. It is Brood Sliver. The Legion's copy goes up $11.53 to $19.99. That is a 136% increase. The premium deck series Slivers copy, which only does come in foil, goes up 1738 to 2979. That is a 140% increase. Of course, this is another solid sliver that shows up in the Sliver Commander builds quite frequently, going up for the same reasons we mentioned earlier. Number 2 is Chain of Smog, going up 1950 to 1999 for a, wait for it, 4,012% increase. I think that is the highest percentage increase we've seen since we started doing these top 10 videos. So to set the stage for this card, there could have been a few things that happened over the course of the year that started to make it dry up a little bit in the secondary market. The first was the release of Tiny Bones Trinket Thief. Of course, that was a pretty popular commander deck. This fits well there. Then more recently, we saw the very popular Tergrid God of Fright / Tergrid's Lantern decks come out of Kjell. But the reason this card is so hot right now is because of a Strixhaven preview card that was just revealed. And that card is a new Liliana Planeswalker card called Professor Onyx. You can see it on the screen there. And if you have this in play and you cast Chain of Smog on yourself, you can go infinite. And number 1 is one more sliver. It is Synapse Sliver, going up 3761 to 5965 for a 171% increase. Yet another sliver that's great in those Sliver Commander builds. Again, going up for the same reasons we mentioned earlier. Alright, that does it for this week's top 10. Check out our regular episode of the Market Watch every weekend. Those are longer episodes, about 30 minutes long, and we deep dive into everything that's happening in the secondary market. You're not going to want to miss this week's episode. There's so much happening in the market right now. Until next time, though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.